The Hyundai Venue, it's a big deal for the company and for this segment in the market. And this time you're getting the N line from the very start. I mean, just think about it. The first gen sold over 7 lakh units. And that time, the N line wasn't there from the start. You still get those 3 engine options, 1.2 NA, 1 litre turbo and the 1.5 diesel. And the N line variant. This generation is also bigger. The company says it's safer, has a lot more tech on board. And in case I hadn't mentioned it, right from the very start, you do get the N-line variant. So the styling on the car looks sort of like an evolution of the last generation in the sense that it just looks like a facelift maybe, but it has gotten bigger, a little bit wider. Wheelbase is a little bit longer as well, so those are good things. In the front, new visual identity in a sense because it's a lot like the family members, a lot more vertical though, a lot more LED and this nice sort of glassy bit in the middle for the connected DRLs. This only pops up when you use the parking light at night. Looks good, looks different enough and yet very recognizable as the Venue. These body colored wheel arches, the 17-inch wheels, the little red stripe that you see, the different roof rails, the black mirrors. Yes, that's all about N-line. In fact, even this little design detail that you see here, the color treatment, a little bit different on the N-line than on the regular car, which we'll just show you in a second. Taillights that complement the LEDs up front, the little glassy element with the name Venue inside it also complements the styling up front. Spoiler, very specific to the N-line. This one, it's a little exaggerated, the N-line badge. Different bumper as well on the N-line and of course the twin exhaust. The N-line shares its engine with the turbo models on the regular variants. Amey is going to tell you about that regular car. I'll go drive this and tell you how the turbo drives.
Now the length of the car remains the same, but the width of it is bigger and it stands taller as well. So yes, there are changes. There are also changes to the wheelbase.
What needs a mention here is that even its base variant, the HX2, the Venue gets LED DRLs, projector headlamps and even LED tail lamps.
But the very interesting thing here is the placement of the rear camera. Usually you'll have it somewhere here in most of the cars. Usually you have it somewhere in this region, but not with the Hyundai. So now it's right here at the bottom. So even if you open it, you can see that it's integrated right here. And that is pretty nice because it actually gives you a lower perspective as to what could possibly be closer to you. Very well done there. Now, while all that is well and good, there is a problem. And that essentially lies with the fact that this doesn't close properly. There you go, still open. Do that again. Still doesn't close. So I have to do to close it. Now the cabin has been completely spruced up, and I mean it doesn't have any resemblance to the previous generation at all, which is great. You have this really nice touch, especially here, and Venue written everywhere in the car, including the seats as well. This actually looks very, very nice, very upmarket. And if you check it out, this AC vent and this AC vent, they form an H, and that's the bridge right in between. Pretty decently done to bring out the Hyundai quality, so to say. The steering wheel too is all new. Design similar to the one we saw in the Ioniq 5 and very nicely put together. It's not bulky, it's nice and small, and that's what you want in a car that is this size. But the party piece is this. Two 12.3-inch touchscreens. Now that is not standard on the car. It's a curved display, not standard on the car. The standard version still gets an infotainment system, which is a 10.25-inch touchscreen infotainment system. So it's not as if the base variant is bare bones. It's good enough. Now you also get the wireless charger here, and it's a good place that it sits in, no problems there. You also have C-type charging stations as well, which you can change from one to the other, whether charging or using USB. Now the lumbar support on the seat also is good. The under thigh support is good, and you know what? the Venue gets ventilated seats. Yes, this one has it and I'm loving it. But overall, as things go, the Venue now looks very smart, very upmarket, and the quality of plastic too has gone up significantly.
The one thing that would stick out like a sore thumb in the previous gen model is the rear seat space. Has Hyundai managed to rectify it?
20 millimeters more. That's what Hyundai says the wheelbase of the car has gone up by compared to the first generation of the car. And has that made a difference? Well, look for yourself. There is decent amount of space here. This is according to my driving stance, and there is decent amount of space here. Headroom too is no challenge because I sit a little curved in this sense. So it's very nice to sit here, very comfortable for sure. Could there have been better under thigh support? For sure, it would have definitely helped, especially on longer journeys. But overall, I am not complaining here. I am 6 feet tall, so this is a great position to be in. Now, anyone taller than me, I think could have some issues, but average height, no worries at all. Now, there are two C-type USB ports here and a place to keep your phone too. That is very interesting and that is extremely basic. And of course, the rear AC vents as well just help.
The sunshades at the rear windows and the ventilated front seats, while not standard, are a clever addition that buyers will like. The rear doors too open at a wider angle now, so there's more space to get in and out of the car. Well thought of.
Now the diesel finally gets an automatic and I get to drive it. It is sorted in the way it drives, but a lot of engine noise creeping in. Here I put my foot down and there is a lot of engine noise that creeps in. But that 6-speed torque converter, yes, torque converter, deals well actually with the way you drive and is quick to adapt to your driving style. You also have the paddle shifters here, which come in very handy, especially if you want to quickly make an overtake or anything of that sort, and the numbers immediately come up on the screen, so you know exactly what gear you're on and it's not left to anyone's imagination. Now, given all of that, how is it calibrated? It is decent. It's really decent. Yes, there is a lag, sometimes a massive lag that you feel, but it is good. And in sport mode, it just gets better because you then have enough and more at your disposal every single time you put your foot down. If you're looking for a diesel automatic in the market, this one should be on your consideration set.
The mileage figures for the diesel automatic stand at 17.99 kilometers per litre according to ARAI. That is 3 kilometers per litre less than the manual version. But we would love to check out how it does in the road test though, to understand it more clearly. Now the significant change, however, is in the ride quality.
Now the suspension setup on this one is very interesting. It is based on the K1 platform, so we know cars that have come on the K1 platform like the Syros, even the Exter, and the balance has always been very nice on these cars especially. So how does this one do? Well, it handles bad roads pretty well. There you go. So how is the suspension setup? Well, it's simple to answer that. It is pretty good. You compare it to the previous generation of the model and still it's just gotten better. And you know what? Every time you go on a pothole or through a pothole, the lateral movement in the older version is always there. This one, you do not get any lateral movement. The horizontal movement is well contained as well.
The Venue is packed with features, especially the top end, Level 2 ADAS being one of the biggest of them. The subcompact SUV already was available with Level 1 ADAS, but more features have been added to that list to bring that level up. And yes, it works like a charm. Hyundai has bet big on safety with the Venue. 6 airbags, ESC are among the 21 features standard on the car. and the B NCAP crash rating is expected to land by around January next year. And Hyundai is pretty confident on its performance. But the big game is the price, and Hyundai has ensured that prices stay competitive. This diesel version undercuts its prime rival, the Tata Nexon, by 30,000 rupees on the manual and about 12,000 on the automatic. But remember, the Nexon gets an AMT. It is still more expensive than the Sonnet, but undercuts both the Syros and the Mahindra XUV 3XO.
While the diesel is also turbo enhanced, let's get back to Siddharth for the car that is badged turbo.
It's a bit of a pity that the N line is not mechanically different really to the regular turbo. The good news in that is that everything I tell you now pretty much applies to the turbo variant on the regular Venue as well. Having said that, the few very slight changes, the suspension on this one just a tad stiffer, and you also have a slightly angrier note, a little bit of a roar to the exhaust. So that's it. Otherwise, no real mechanical changes. The good news, you have a really nice ride quality on the car. That's the first impression. The bad news, besides the fact that there are no mechanical changes, while the suspension stiffens up just a little bit, the steering does not. It should feel a little bit sportier on the variant that is supposed to be sporty.
Sadly, and as expected, Hyundai would not let us anywhere near the 1.2 litre naturally aspirated base variant. It's flogged that engine and 5-speed manual for long, and it's only there for the entry pricing, though it's well loaded even at the base.
This engine has always been a gem. I mean, it really gives you a nice response. It is pretty quick, the lag is minimal, and you get a nice sense of enjoyment with the car, and it's a good differentiation from the 1.2. So the turbo is fun. On the N-line, that little extra sound, also fun. And this little gimmick, you have the 3 drive modes on the regular car on this one too, but unlike the little rotary dial down here on the regular car, here you get this drive mode on the steering wheel, the little button that can change the drive modes, Eco, Normal, Sport. I wish it was rotary, just to be a little picky, because it's a little bit like the sports cars, but it's a nice touch.
So, is the Venue worth it? Absolutely. It's great to drive, is more spacious and priced very well. It deserves all your attention. It isn't perfect, but it's very close to that.